let's talk about the real reason the other brother and the other girl decided to comment on the ongoing Epstein Files revelation. It's not about morality, it's all about image management, because this is the same man who went to Harry's house in a rage because Harry married a biracial woman and the fury was personal, and we know that he went round to beat up Harry. Harry spoke about falling onto the dog bowl, which broke. Harry also spoke about his necklace breaking. And the funny thing that I find is that then there was no hesitation. You know, he went round to his brother's house to literally beat him up just because he married someone he didn't like. So that was immediate. He didn't have to think about it. He just was so upset and so incensed. And yet someone doing unspeakable things to girls, to young children, did not invoke a similar reaction. And yeah, but this time we have from him deep concern and thoughts and prayers. That's it. But when it comes to, you know, the uncle, Prince Andrew, a man tied to one of the most heinous abuse scandals in our time, yeah, see what we got. We didn't get a physical reaction. We didn't get, no, I will not be driving you to church. We did not get, no, you will not be taking the same private jet as me to go to Balmoral after grandma died. Instead, we are getting thoughts and prayers. And for me, that contrast tells you everything, because rage was available when the institution felt threatened by love, by race, and by disruption. And silence is what we get when that threat is now coming from the inside of the institution. So essentially, as long as the threat is from a bloodline, we're happy with it. And for me, it's not confusing at all. It's about hierarchy, because Prince Andrew's crimes don't just implicate one man, it implicates the system that protects him. Yes, because Andrew's crimes reach into the highest of government levels. It reaches deepest into the all the institutions that we know about. And I'm not surprised that the other brother doesn't want to rock the system that protected Andrew, funded Andrew, housed Andrew, and stood beside him in public long after all these facts were known, because they've been known about since at least before 2011, when the other brother married the other girl. And I remember the other brother and the other girl were used as weapons of threat to a TV station who wanted to air the interview that Virginia Giuffre gave before she was sadly taken from us. So the language for me of deeply concerned is not a moral position. It's a brand strategy, because it signals empathy without taking any liability, and it creates the distance without any rupture, and also they're showing sensitivity without any consequence. So why not? Anyone can say, I'm deeply concerned. It doesn't mean anything. And if you put it another way, the other brother and the other girl are not concerned about the victims, I don't think. They are deeply concerned about the damage to the brand. They are deeply concerned about the damage to the royal family, the monarchy, because in their selfish way, they've got kids who they are hoping will inherit all the perks and privilege and benefits of being a king's child. And they're thinking, well, Andrew, you're not going to ruin it for my children, so we need to say something. That is the only reason they're speaking out. And in a way, they should be concerned, because they are losing the crowd pretty fast. And people are not stupid. They can see the unfairness and the uneven-handedness with which they quickly dealt with Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan were thrown under the bus for what they didn't even do, because all they said was, you're being racist to Meghan. You're giving Meghan a hard time. You're telling all your friends in the press about things she didn't do. And you're briefing relentlessly against her. We want to remove ourselves from this environment, but we are happy to still do part-time work for you. So, and they said, no, you can't be part-time workers. You're either all in or all out. And Harry said, but there are other people in the royal family who are part-time workers. And they said, no. You're either all in or all out, knowing fully well that they do not want them to be in the organization. So effectively, they were, in my opinion, is what they call, there's a word for it, when you coerce people into leaving without firing them. So you effectively say, well, we're just going to give you a hard time until you leave. So, and everyone saw how merciless the punishment was for Harry and Meghan stepping out of line. And if you compare that to Andrew had years of protection. He had public appearances. He had security. He had housing on royal land. And he had financial settlements that were handled quietly. And now that the truth can no longer be buried, the institution is reaching for the safest PR tool in the box: concern without accountability. That's why the statement landed very flat. That is why that statement is being resoundingly mocked. And that is why that statement is not working, because we are now at a tipping point. The old model relied on deference, distraction, and maybe delay, because after all, in a 24-hour news cycle, there'll be other news to bury it. But this time, it's not happening. This is the digital age, ladies and gentlemen. Archives do not forget. The internet do not forget. Screenshots do not forget. And patterns are now visible in real time. And people are asking a simple question now. Why was fury reserved for a black woman who married into the family, but forgiveness and patience and protection was extended to Prince Andrew, who was accused of exploiting little girls? And once they can fully answer that question with their whole chest, the clock then starts to tick, because image management only works when the audience believes in the image. And that belief is cracking, because the image is now completely and utterly wrecked. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, please. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of The Luxpreneur. And for more insights like these, please like, share, comment, and follow me. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And to support my work, please pick up a copy of The Luxpreneur today from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Waterstones. And you can even buy me a coffee. Yes, I'm on buymeacoffee.com, and just look for my name, Elizabeth Solaru, and you can buy me a coffee there.